Andrew McCART, IFL TV in association with MTK Global. Once again, I'm delighted to be joined by the Jackal himself, Carl Frampton. First and foremost, Carl, how are you coping with everything that's going on at the moment?
I'm doing okay, mate. I think probably better than most, in a wee bit of a luckier situation than most, because decent sized garden and a bit of countryside around where I live. So and a bit of space for kids to run about. So we're doing okay. We're doing okay.
How's the sort of fitness side of things for yourself? Like you said, the countryside, so I'd imagine you're going out on a lot of runs. I know you've got a small gym in your garage, so is that keeping your mind sort of?
I've been trying to train 5 days a week, so Monday to Friday. If I miss a day during the week, I would train, take a day on the weekend and do something. So I've been hitting the bag. I've been talking to Jamie a lot as well, just working on, obviously he's just been talking on the phone, but things that we think will work against Herring when the fight does eventually take place. I've been hitting the bag, been doing weights, been running. I've been on my bike a lot as well. I've been doing a load of miles on the bike, just outside while the weather's been nice. So I'm just trying to not get fat really at the minute.
Is it easy for you to get fat though, Carl?
Oh, very easy. Very, very easy. And it's something like, as I've got older or more experienced, I've been able to get more fatter quicker.
Is that why you're moving up to super featherweight then, aye?
Probably. Well, yeah, I could still do featherweight if I had to. But obviously this option was put to me about Jamel Herring and a potential to be a 3-weight world champion, so I have to take it. It's a great opportunity for me.
You mentioned Jamel Herring there. Now, I spoke to Jamel out in Vegas for the Wilder Fury fight, and obviously with the publications, print and stuff, it looked like the fight was going to take place at Windsor Park. That was sort of the hope in your dream, because even though you fought at Windsor Park, winning a world title at Windsor Park, I was there for your fight against Luke Jackson. I mean, even though it was raining, the atmosphere was unreal. It was an amazing sort of event. Are you sort of like disappointed now that looks like that's not going to happen, because I'm hearing it might be Madison Square Garden now? What's
well,
there?
I don't really know, Andy, and I think you probably know as much as me as to what's happening. No one can predict the future or when things are going to ease up or when we're allowed to be in large gatherings together and stuff. I think that Windsor most definitely will be ruled out, because you can't really go outdoor in Northern Ireland after kind of the first week of September. So there's no way the fight can take place before that. I think that wherever it may be, like I was speaking to MTK yesterday, and I just want to have the fight now. I want to have it in a venue where there's an atmosphere and where people are. So they're talking about doing these fights behind closed doors, and if you have to do that, you have to do that. But my choice would obviously be in front of a crowd. I would love to do it in New York, but New York is in a pretty bad situation at the minute. I think just wherever the first viable option is to have it in an arena with plenty of people is where it will be, whether that's Belfast or New York or some other place in America or what. So I'm just playing a waiting game at the minute, mate. I don't really know.
Because the thing is, with you, Carl, you're one of the, I wouldn't say you're a lucky fighter, but you've got so many fans. They'll travel to see you. So in terms of your fans not getting to watch you fight live, it must be sort of affect you in a certain way, does it?
Well, the atmosphere, like I talk about it a lot. It probably adds something to my performances, and when you talk about small margins in this game, and it definitely adds something to my performances, maybe 2, 3, 5% maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But the atmosphere great and my fights are brilliant, home and away. So it would be a shame. It would be such a shame not to have a crowd there. But I think that there is fights that you would talk about and fights that could be put behind closed doors. I think me against Jamel Herring, just because of the atmosphere that would be expected to be created, I don't think it'll happen behind closed doors.
That's good news for me then, definitely. Jamel Herring, I watched your sort of e-presser type thing with Top Rank and the other day there. It was good. It was enjoyable. But you said what makes Jamel Herring such a good fighter. Now, I've looked at Jamel when you beat McCreary out in Vegas. He's so much taller than you. When I interviewed him in Vegas, he's my height. I'm not saying I'm much bigger than you, but as a super featherweight, he's big. He's a southpaw, like you said, and he can bang a little bit. And the mental toughness that you mentioned that he's got. So, how do you prepare for somebody like Jamel Herring? Going on with what's going on with the COVID-19 and stuff like that, how are you mentally going to prepare for somebody like Jamel?
Well, what I'm doing at the minute, but I'm watching more footage of Jamel Herring than I've watched of any other opponent ever before. I always watch little bits, but I don't really get too carried away and too involved in watching that. And normally I'd let Jimmy Moore and coaches watch it, but I've been watching it for a bit myself, and I've been talking to Jamie about things and trying to figure out what we think is going to work against him. But there's it's not going to be an easy fight. I know that, but I wouldn't want it any other way. I wouldn't want to win a world title in a third weight division in against a nobody, someone that's a no mark, just an easy fight. I want it to be tough, and I know it will be tough. And I still prepare like any other fight. Just take him for what he is. He's a big super featherweight. He's a southpaw. He's got a lot of things about him, but I just have to try and find a way to deal with it.
When I interview other fighters, I always sort of like try and talk about boxing related stuff. So I'll talk about you and Jamel Herring, and I say to the fighters, how does Carl win that fight? And they say Carl needs to go inside because Carl's small, compact against somebody tall like Jamel. Do you have to keep the fighting close to win that fight?
That's this kind of that approach from them fighters or anyone that's asking about that. That's it just looks like, so that's almost like an automatic reaction. You think, oh well, he's small, he's tall, you have to get close. I don't necessarily see it like that. I think that I've boxed tall, outboxed tall, rangy guys before. I think that if I employ my feet correctly, then I could outbox this guy as well. I genuinely believe that. There will be times where I have to stand and have a fight as well with him. And one thing about Jamel Herring is he's actually quite good on the inside. He's not daft on the inside and standing up close, and he picks his shots well. So for people just to say that I have to get on him and go and stand, lock horns with him straight away, I think that's wrong. I think that's the wrong approach. But there will be times when that has to happen. But you pick and choose when you do that, when you have a fight. But I genuinely think my distance control and my feet work, I could outbox him at times.
All going well against Jamel Herring. I know you don't look past somebody like Jamel, but all going well. I mean, the other world champions in that division, you've got Berchelt, you've got Oscar Valdez and Joseph Diaz. Leo Santa Cruz is there. Now, you've made no bones, no secret that that's the fight you want. You want a trilogy against Leo. Is that, before your career is over, becoming a 3 world champion's a dream, but before your career is over, would you feel some sort of fulfillment if you don't get that Leo Santa Cruz?
Well, I kind of, yeah, that's probably the one that makes most sense. Again, not looking past Jamel Herring, but that would be the one that makes most sense to me. It's one each. It would be set up lovely for a trilogy fight. It should have already happened if you ask me, and it hasn't for whatever reason. I don't know why, but don't point the finger at me as to why it hasn't happened. I've made myself open for that fight. I've made myself open to go to LA and fight him. But maybe if I win a world title against Jamel Herring, maybe then he'll come to the table and wanna start talking. At the minute he's got a title of some sort. I don't even know what it is. Is it a regular title?
I think it's a WBA super featherweight, super featherweight title or something along those lines.
Right. Okay. Well, whatever it was, all I know is that it was a vacant title and he fought a featherweight coming up like himself for it. So he's been given a lot of things in his career, and this would give him the opportunity to win a legitimate world title if I beat Jamel Herring against me.
Why do you think Leo doesn't want it? Because as a fan's perspective, looking at the last 2 fights that you had with him, or the 2 fights you've had with him, they were great fights. It was, for the fans, for us watching on TV or at the arena, it was two of the best fights you could probably see that year, whenever it took. So why do you think? Do you think it's Leo Santa Cruz, or do you think it's his team that doesn't want the rematch?
No, I don't. I don't think it's him. I genuinely think if whoever you put in front of Leo Santa Cruz, he will fight them. I think that's the character that he is. But I think he's just a yes man, and whatever his team's saying is, he just agrees with it and he goes along with it. And maybe they just want to keep it in house and keep fighting kind of human fighters, and everyone's getting paid then, and the money's not going anywhere else. And maybe that's the reason. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure if whoever you put in front of Leo Santa Cruz and say you're gonna fight him, then he would say yes. But you have to stand up at some point and realize that he's his own man too. And if he wants to make fights, he needs to push for them, and he needs to tell the people in his promotional company who can make these fights that I want these fights. So I suppose he has a little bit to blame there himself.
Again, becoming world champion at that weight, there's a fighter who's ranked number one in the WBO, and that's Oscar Valdez. It seems if you win this world title, it's nothing but big, solid, dangerous fighters for you. Look for the future. You can even have Berchelt, Santa Cruz, and Oscar Valdez if it becomes your mandatory. So, talking about Oscar Valdez again, what a fight that would be. I mean, again, as a fan, I want to see that fight, you against Oscar Valdez.
Yeah.
What about yourself? When you look at these?
No, it would be a great fight. I just want to be involved in big fights from here on in. And Oscar Valdez is a huge name, and it will be a huge fight. I think a very fan-friendly fight. But again, like, I don't want to be getting carried away. It's just I've got to. Well, I don't even have a fight yet. We think this Jamel Herring fight will happen at some point. We're talking as if it's definitely going to happen, but hopefully it does happen, and I have to deal with him. And then after that, just big names. And the good thing is that Oscar Valdez would be a mandatory. Sometimes you have to fight mandatories, and they're not the most well known. Josh Taylor, prime example. He's fighting this Thai boy. But for me, Berchelt, Leo Santa Cruz, Jojo Diaz, Josh Warrington, and my mandatory would be, if I win the title, would be Valdez. So the options are good for me.
That must make you smile, Carl, does it? All them names.
Well, of course it does. Just big fight. That's what I want to be involved in. That's what I'm in this game for. And once I became a world champion, I just wanted to have big fights and be involved in the big blockbuster fights. And any one of them, 4, 5, or 6, however many I mentioned there, would be a huge fight.
Going back to Jamel Herring, is this a crossroads fight for you? Is this a must-win for your career against Jamel Herring?
Must win, absolutely must win. And that's what I'm preparing. Well, I will prepare to do. I feel like I'm in a good place, although I haven't started a camp, but I am training. I haven't put on too much weight. I'm reasonably fit, and when I do start a camp, I'll be able to hit the ground running. But I will prepare and give it my all whenever a camp does start to make sure I win that title. It is a must-win fight for me. I'm under no illusion there. I have to win the fight.
Can you stop Jamel Herring? Can you stop him?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think I can. I haven't stopped anyone in a while.
Luke Jackson was the last one.
Luke Jackson. Yeah. I would have stopped McCreary if I didn't have 2 broken hands. Anytime I put a bit of pressure on him, I had to kind of take the foot off the gas because it was hurting me. But listen, anyone can be stopped in this game with small gloves on. And I think me moving up to super featherweight will just add a little bit. I think I'll be punching slightly harder. People talk about when they spar me, and obviously when I'm sparring, I'm probably around 10 stone when I'm sparring at my best. And they talk about how hard I punch when I'm in sparring. And recently that hasn't kind of transferred over into the fights. I haven't been stopping people. Maybe that's down to the weight or whatever. But I think at 9 stone 4, I'll be punching harder.
I'm going to tell you a little story. An old gym mate of mine, Stephen Tiffany, came down to London one time to spar you, and you gave him concussion when he came back up the road a week later. So that's how hard. That's testament to how hard you can punch.
I'm smiling about that. I don't know why.
I would have clipped this out and showed Tiff. Yeah, you gave him concussion. He was in the gym and he was like, "Oh, I've got a headache and stuff like that." And he went to go see a doctor and he gave him concussion. And he thinks the last spar was you like 5 days earlier, so you gave him concussion. And he did say that your jab's like a piston, like your jab's like a backhand as well. So he gave you some praise.
Well, I know that's the thing. I know I can punch. I can't punch, and ask anyone that I've sparred, they'll say the same. Yeah, you can punch, but for whatever reason, I haven't been knocking them over in the fights.
McCready, you knocked over. You just didn't stop him because you two broken hands. So
Yeah,
how are the hands then? So how are they? I can see this. Is that
hands are fine. If you can see, there's a big scar here.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
And I've one here. But they're okay. I've got a pretty solid water bag in the gym, which is hard, and I've been hitting it, no issue at all. People are saying this will give me more time, with this pandemic going on, for my hands to recover, but they were fine anyway, so I don't really need time for that. My hands are good to go.
I want to say, I love Belfast. I'm there 5-6 times a year for the Ulster Hall shows. When you have a big fight, it's a fighting city. You've got fighters coming through like Sean McComb, you know what I mean? You've got Kevin Ajago, you've got all these very, very good young fighters. But what would it do for the city for you to hold a world title and then Mick Conlan to hold a world title as well? Two world champions for the city.
At the same time, it would be huge. There's in terms of population, we're a small city. Northern Ireland is only 1.6 million people in the whole country. So to have two world champions at the one time would be unbelievable. And boxing is booming here at the minute. It has been for a number of years, but it's important that the current crop of fighters continue to do that and keep the boom going, because kind of just before I came on the scene and started to get the big name, it was a bit of a lull there. You had Rogie doing a bit and Paul McCluskey, but it wasn't what it is now. And I think it's important for the current crop of fighters to win big fights and keep the boom going.
To talk about Belfast, before I let you go, I want to talk about the up-and-coming fighters. Who for you stands out for the up-and-coming fighters from Belfast?
I like Sean McComb. I think he's very good, very, very, very good fighter. He says he can do lightweight as well. And he says he can do it easy, which is ridiculous when you think about it, the size of him. That's one division above me.
See, 4-weight world champion, Cole. Imagine that.
No, it's mental. It's mental, but he's a very good fighter. He's a good boxing brain. He's dedicated. I like Kevin as well, that you mentioned. Different type of fighter, very explosive, good power and in both hands. Really exciting style. Big Throw McCann is always in good fights. Tommy McCarthy, quality fighter too, and I think linking up with, I think he's now linked with Matchroom in some shape or form, I think. All right.
Well, maybe you know something I don't know for a change.
Maybe I made that up. I don't know. But Big Tommy, he won a title there in Italy and stuff, and I think that Tommy can do something. Ando Kakachi as well. There's loads of fighters. These are all kind of stuff.
Kakachi's your weight, though, isn't he? He's super featherweight.
He's super featherweight, very good fighter, very, very good fighter. So I know Ando pretty well, big puncher. And again, he's another one that doesn't really suggest on his record that he can punch, but believe me, I felt his power. Big puncher. But there's plenty coming through. Mick Conlan most likely will win it. I think he's been lined up to fight for a WBO title. Shakur Stevens looks like he's moving up. So he'll be fighting for a vacant title. The list goes on, and for such a small city, we produce so many great fighters. Talking
about small and being in a small city, what do you think about Paddy Barnes stepping into my world then with a Paddy cast?
He told me about it, a while ago, and I thought it would be a good idea. I thought there was going to be difficulties with the translation, depending on who you have as a guest. But he's had some big names, and he's got some big names lined up. Fair play to him. All he needs now is a sponsor, the way IFL do things, and get someone bankrolling them.
IFL will sponsor him. There you go. I'll speak to Coogan and get IFL to sponsor him.
Oh, he would love that.
Definitely. Well, Carl, I won't keep you much longer. The sun is shining. You're probably going to go out and spend some time with your kids, because I'll follow you on Instagram. So, is it not?
No,
it's beautiful in Scotland. Not a cloud in the sky. So Must be Scotland. There we got this is our summertime anyway, so I'm going to make the most of it.
Yeah.
Well, Carl, as always,
All right.
thanks for this Fight Phil TV. Can't wait for your fight with Herring. 3-weight world champion sounds amazing, mate, and you're doing wonders for boxing as always. So thanks very much, Carl. Appreciate your time.
All the best. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you, Carl. Stay safe.